Well, hello there and welcome. We are talking Tando and of course we are talking Craftalong. So the next 2 hours we are in for a crafty delight. And you can see I am sat here with the lovely ladies. We're going to be going around the table and introducing everybody in the next few moments. So do stay tuned. We'll be telling you what you might need in addition to your kit that we've been chatting about previously when we've been talking about the Craftalong, and I'll show you everything in there in the next few moments. Now, first of all, we've got 2 new faces, but we've got a very familiar face. Lovely Di, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, and I feel very safe between yourself and Fiona here. So I know that we're going to be good, and I'm sure, Margaret, you're feeling the same as well.
Just a bit.
And Margaret, you're here because you won a bit of a competition to be a guest here.
Yeah, I did.
You did, yes, which is lovely.
Yes,
so
it is, very
are you
good.
looking forward to the next couple of hours?
Yeah, I am.
And you've been to some of Di's workshops in the past, haven't you?
I went to one last week,
So
the clock one that's over there.
behind us, lovely. So is she a good person to have between us to hold
yes,
our hand?
definitely.
Perfect, I love it. Correct answer as well. And then we've got Fiona. Now, Fiona, you've got a very important chair there because you're going to be teaching us during this Craftalong, and it's your first time on air.
It is, yes.
What a way to do it, coming straight in and doing the Craftalong.
Very brave.
Very, very brave. Brave or silly, I don't know, I haven't decided, but you told me that she's a very, very good teacher, so we're in good hands.
Yes,
Lovely.
definitely.
So I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, there's the project. Have a look at this. This is incredible. Now, this is what we're aiming to achieve then.
It is, yes.
I love this. So what sort of things are we going to learn during this Craftalong?
You're going to learn how to use different paints, different mediums in a mixed media way, and to create aged metal effects. And yeah, hopefully I have a good time doing it as well.
Yeah, we certainly are. Now, if you've got any questions that you're wanting to ask as we go along, you know how to get in touch, studio@chanda.com. We have got the details on the screen, so if you have just joined us and you're like, what's going on, what do I need? Well, you can see the Craftalong kit on your screen there, all the items that we're going to be using during our Craftalong. I'm sure some of those items we're going to have left over at the end because there's loads in there. And then we have got some additional bits and pieces that you might like to add into your basket, which are on the website. You might have some of those already. And of course, we'll be talking about alternatives as the hour goes on. But if you're wanting your Craftalong kit, 2 flexi buys on that are £39.99. And of course, the Craftalong will be available on her Chanda's YouTube channel way after that kind of couple of weeks that you can watch on Rewind. But you will be able to catch us on Rewind if you wanted to. So before we get going, that list, those lists of goodies that are going to help you on your way, this is what you might need to help you. So you've got your white acrylic, your gesso there as well, crackle paste or glaze, whichever is your preferred option. And then Fiona's let us know that she's going to be using the silver Payne's grey and also the cobalt turquoise. And I think there's an A missing from Payne's, not that being picky or anything, but acrylic paint there. Or you can use other colours because of course they will be applying to this as well. All those goodies, I'm not going to read everything out, but of course you can refer back to that if you're needing to. Yeah, so there you go. So I suppose we should get going then, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I feel a bit scared. Go on then. So what do we need to do then, Fiona?
So the first thing we need to do is we're going to apply crackle paste through the stencil to your wing bases. So we can move all the other bits out the way for the minute and just concentrate on the wings because this will give the crackle paste time to dry and crack.
Right, I'm going to pop mine at the front there. Okay. Oh, and I've got to put my wings over. That's a good start, isn't it? Bring those back in. Get rid of them all. We've got lots within this kit.
There's enough, I think, to make 2.
2.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you can make one today and then make another one afterwards.
Like that idea.
Or you can craft along with a friend.
That's a good point. Or not share.
Yeah.
You obviously don't know me very well, do I?
So the first thing that you'll do is if you line your stencil up with your wing, and you will see like a little outline around the edge, so you know that you've got it in position. And then you can use a bit of tape just to tape your stencil at the top,
Okay.
just to stop it from moving around too much. All good?
Okay, I think so. How are you doing over there, Margaret? You all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'm the slow one at the moment.
So then we'll take some crackle paste. I'm using Deco Art Media.
Okay.
Deco Art is the brand that I prefer to use. And we're just going to grab a big bit out onto the mat.
I do like a
good dollop.
Okay.
And then all we're going to do is just apply it with the flat of the palette knife and just bring it down and through the stencil.
Okay. It's nice and creamy.
It is.
I think I've been a bit stingy. Nothing new there. And of course, if you do need to invest in any of these items that we're working with, you can get them on the website. We're best to keep going in one direction with this.
Yeah, just straight down in one direction.
Being careful not to get it on your cuffs. It's a good area to cover it.
It is, yeah. It's quite a large stencil.
Yes.
No, you don't need to be neat.
They're all watching me in the gallery.
And the good thing about having the stencil within your kit, once you've used it on both your kits, you can also keep reusing it if you want to use it to apply it to a canvas, to any home, books that you make, book covers. There's loads of ways that you can sort of, it can be used.
Okay.
After. So you've got a good stencil to use after.
You have. Now, how smooth does it need to be?
That's
is
absolutely
that okay what I've
fine.
done there?
Yeah, that's
Lovely.
absolutely fine.
Okay, so far so good then.
So all I do then is get from the bottom of your stencil here and then just lift in one free movement.
Okay. Ooh.
And then that is your first wing.
Lovely.
Complete.
And that's used for having that tape there. It's just like a hinge, isn't it?
It is a hinge, yeah.
Okay.
So we can pop this to one side and repeat it with the second. But before we do that, we have to wipe the stencil because obviously we've got to flip it
Oh, good
for
point.
the other wing.
Okie dokie. So shall I be drying monitor and collect
You
those
can-
up? Now, we haven't put our names on the back, so I'm going to have to try and remember which order these are in. So I'll go and pop those out of the way while you ladies work on cleaning your stencil. I'll be back with you in just a second. So Fiona's is on the left. Remember that, Fiona's is on the left. There you go. Right where she's sitting is on the left.
On
Right.
the left.
Okay. Oops, today's. Oh, there you go. See, I should have warned you about this. Spatula straight into my paste. And of course, you'll see on screen, keep an eye on your screen. There's lots going on there with regards to the products that we're working with. And also at the bottom of the screen, you can see if you do have any questions that you're wanting to ask, you can get in touch. studio@chanda.com. If you don't have access to email, don't worry. You can get in touch via the phone lines and the call centre can pass your questions through 01733 602,000 if you're wanting to do that. Okay.
So then the next step is to flip your stencil
Okay.
the opposite way and do exactly the same as we did in the previous step.
I haven't got a very neat and tidy hinge on mine anymore, but I don't suppose that really matters.
Doesn't matter as long as it holds it in place. And we want another
I'm going for the organic look with my hinge.
another dollop of your crackle paste.
Line it up again. It's really nice paste to work with, isn't
It is.
So could you use other pastes with this? Something that's got a bit
Yeah.
of grit in it?
You can.
perhaps?
You can use texture sand paste. You can use modelling paste. You can use gesso.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And obviously we're working on one of the the bases here within the kit, but if you wanted to work on something larger, maybe pop it onto a frame, I guess we could do that as well.
You could, yeah.
It's a lovely design.
Thank you.
Do we know the artist behind this particular design at all?
Fiona designed
Oh,
all
did
of Yeah, she
you?
designed the
did.
entire kit.
You kept that quiet. It's funny because I spread out so much when I'm working at home, and it's a challenge for
Oh,
me
I do
in this
that,
smaller
yeah.
area.
Yeah.
I keep thinking I'm going to be whacking you in the elbows in a minute.
It doesn't matter if you take out too much because you can always scrape it up off the mat and pop it back in the
That's a
pot.
good point.
So it's always good to have too much than not enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely. I think I've got that covered there. Wonderful.
And then the same thing again. Lift from the bottom of the stencil.
Now I've got some little bits that I probably obviously haven't cleaned my stencil properly that have kind
That's
of gone in
fine.
between. It doesn't matter.
No, that's fine.
Good. I'm not going to get a detention for that then, I'm all right.
The good thing about mixed media is you don't have to be perfect.
Oh, suits me down to the ground.
Embrace your wonkiness, as
Oh.
they say.
I've got lots of wonkiness. Oh, I think I might get that put on a t-shirt. I like that. Embrace your wonkiness. Lovely. And again, just clean up as you're going. And I'm guessing that's quite important because
It is.
this paste could adhere to pretty much anything. And
Yeah.
does it stay there?
It does.
Okay.
So it's always best to clean your stencils
Okay.
every time you use them. Just give
Okay.
them a wipe down. If you're using, but it's made from good quality material, so they can withstand a good scrubbing if for any
Okay.
reason that you've let anything dry on them.
Lovely. I think I've got that. Good tidy up as we're going along. And of course the stencil that we are working with at the moment obviously comes from that original kit. If you've got yours already, then you may be crafting along with us already. If not, you can still get hold of it, still plenty of time to do so. And this is your kit. You're going to get that fabulous stencil that we've just all been working with. Of course, you're going to get your substrates there with regards to your wings. You can get 2 pairs, which means you can do the project that we're working on now and another version of it. Or as Di said, if you're very generous, craft along with a friend. All those additional elements there, lots of cogs and gears and all sorts of wonderful things that we're going to go on to use. But if you haven't got your kit already, you can see the details are on your screen there. So yeah, pop it into your basket and perhaps join us via YouTube or via Rewind and have a go again with yours. Now, shall I move yours out of the way again?
Yeah,
Fiona?
that'd
Would you
be
like
great.
We're going to put you on the left again when I get over there. So that's me in the right. Lovely. Thank you. I'm going to pop those. Hopefully not getting it all over Di in the process as I go past. There we go. So far, so good, eh, ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Managed to do that without any hiccups.
Yeah. I've made us a little bin.
Lovely. And of course, because we've cleaned the stencil up beautifully, use that over and over again.
You can.
Lovely. Okay. So what's next?
So what's next is, oh, excuse me for bending down here, is we've got your baseboard.
Lovely. Now, what's this made out of? Because this is a different
Yeah,
kind of
this
base.
is MDF.
Oh, okay. Good sized piece as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole finished piece is nice and solid and chunky,
sturdy.
isn't it?
So
Yeah.
I thought that I'd go with an MDF base, so you could always put one of those little picture hooks on the back and you can actually hang it on the
point.
wall.
Yeah.
So you've got a bit more substance
Yeah.
for things to attach to
Good
on the
idea.
back.
We've got ours on a little easel, and I think
Yeah.
it does look nice
Yeah.
on an
Yeah,
easel.
On an
doesn't
easel
it?
as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's many different ways that you can display it.
Lovely. And you're getting 2 of these in the kit as well.
You are,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So your next step for this is to get some white gesso
Okay.
and a little sponge. Any sponge will do. You can have sponge daubers at home, just a piece of kitchen sponge if you've got that to hand. Yeah.
Lovely.
And
That's
we're
nice
just
and
going
easy.
to pop some gesso onto your
Okay.
craft mat.
I'm working from both of these trays here. I
It's
just don't
all right.
know which one's mine. But
You can work from both. That's
For being
okay.
greedy, that's right, Margaret.
Well, it says gesso, but it's modelling paste on the pot, so we'll go with
Okie dokie.
Gesso.
Shall I
Gesso.
yeah, when you're
take it and
finished.
pass it on?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what sort of quantity? Is that going to be enough for her there?
Yeah, because we're just, all we're going to do.
Put it back in then.
So all we're going to do with your gesso is we're just going to load your sponge up with it onto the craft mat and just pounce.
It reminds me of stippling in the 80s.
Yeah, that's basically what we're doing. We're stippling with the sponge, with gesso, and it just gives the baseboard just a little bit of texture before we apply some washes to it later.
Oh, I love that sound.
Yeah.
It's like
It's very therapeutic, just sitting stippling.
It's funny how you forget the original techniques, don't you? You know,
Yeah.
that sort of went back from years
Oh,
back.
we were
and-
chatting about rag rolling and
Oh, yeah, of
marbling with a feather and all sorts the other day, yeah. They didn't go out of fashion really, did they? I mean, they might not go out of fashion on your walls like we did do, but
Yeah.
nice techniques to use in the modern day as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And good when they get revisited, you know.
Yeah.
And of course now when, as Fiona's saying, she's going to put a wash on it, I mean, that's just another way of...
That's right, yeah, I remember doing that as well. Margaret, is this your style of crafting? Is this the kind of thing you'd normally be crafting with at home? Or
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
mixed media best.
and what sort of things have you created with your mixed media?
Really on my face.
They're all on your face. Oh, we'll have a look at those later on then.
They're not up on the wall yet.
I don't put anything up on the wall either. No.
No, I don't.
That was a cute touch.
Oh, see, is that for somebody watching at home? Oh,
He's watching in the green room.
oh, it's in the green room. Oh, bless him.
He's proficient, isn't he?
It's got a little bit of a fragrance. I think I might need some more, Jess. So.
Yeah.
It goes-
Me too.
It goes as far as you think.
Lovely, thank you very much, Si. Lovely. Again, gesso, if you've got gesso all right already, then not a problem, but if you do need, we have got more of those. Details are at the bottom of the screen. Got a nice duo there. That's crafting. Now, I don't know whether this is the one, because I know some of them, they do where you've got a pot of white as well as a pot of black. So I think that's the one that we've got on the screen there. So yeah, that's useful. Because I guess that you could do this. Could you use a black gesso to
You
do
could
something
use
similar?
a black gesso if you wanted to on the baseboard, and then you could always use your metallic waxes over the top
Ooh, that's
to
a
highlight
nice
the
idea.
texture, or any of your distress oxide inks, because they show up on
They
black
do, don't they? They
beautifully.
behave really nice. They kind of changed. They were game changers, weren't they, when those came out?
Yeah.
So you know, if you're using black gesso, just be wary of the colours that you know you're going to put a wash with on top, or go with the waxes that will bring out the texture.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Baking a cake.
Is that what you'd normally be doing then? No.
Certainly not.
No, I can't bake for toffee. I'm absolutely rubbish at baking. You should see me trying to make bread.
I'm better at
Absolutely rubbish.
eating cakes than I am at
Oh,
making
yeah,
them.
yeah, definitely.
You got one of them bread makers?
No.
Oh, they're easy.
Are they?
Yeah.
Good tip there. Now, when I'm working with it, I am noticing that I'm kind of getting almost like little waves.
Yeah.
Is that because I'm pressing a little bit harder on the sponge, or do I need more gesso?
It doesn't
or-
matter because
Oh, right, okay.
it's all texture.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah,
It's all texture.
Okay. Now, unless you tell me to stop, Fiona, I'll probably carry on doing this for the next 2 hours. So.
You stop when you're happy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm going to add a little bit more of that gesso, I
See
think.
brown
But like you say, you can go back
brown.
into the pot if you need to.
You can, yeah.
Well, you've got lots of lovely texture on
Yeah.
yours.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
You can come again, Jo.
I think I might put a bit
It's
more.
amazing what texture you can get just with the simple bit of sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to
not
get
sure
that
that
up
I've
because
got
I'm going to get
enough
that on
on
my
mine.
elbow if I'm
No,
not
I'll just
careful.
put my fingers straight on.
I've got
a
it
bit
on
more just
I've got it on the brayer, I've got it on the table, I've got it everywhere. Oh dear, I really am a hazard.
Looking everywhere for cotton wool balls to do Fiona's tag.
Yeah.
I've just seen
Right.
in the green room after I've gone and bought them.
Oh, I see. Now, whereabouts has gesso gone?
Oh, do you
Oh,
want
you've got it over there.
There
yeah.
you go.
Mind you, there's hardly any left on there, but every little bit helps, doesn't it? Scooping it up. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Now, what? Oh gosh, I've got a foreign body on mine. Quite sure where that came from. Now, while we're tidying up a little bit here, guys, why not have a little look at what we've been inspired by? Of course, we've got lovely Fiona here teaching us, Di helping us along our way as well. But of course, when you start working with these techniques that Fiona's teaching us, you can create all sorts of wonderful pieces. Have a look at some of these. There's no gesso on the table, we're just covered in it. Yeah. So we cleaned up in that respect. Oops, a daisy, there goes the glues. Lovely, I think I'm done. How are we doing over there? All right, Margaret?
Yeah.
So do we need to put these on one side again to dry off?
Yeah, we can pop these to
Lovely.
one side to dry.
Left and right. Fiona
Left
on
and
the
right.
left, Haley on the right. We'll be back in a minute. Oh, watch your head, Di. Lovely, pop those there. As I'm coming over here, I mean, these pieces of artwork that we've got behind us, Fiona, these are amazing.
Yeah, the Tando design team have done an absolutely fantastic job, haven't they, Di?
They are. They're just, I mean, they're the best design team in the world. I'm going to
Amazing.
say that now.
But they're similar designs, but so different in the
Yeah.
techniques that have been used and the colours that have been used. So I'm really looking forward to working with what you're teaching us here, because I think there's going to be a lot of scope with it. So what's next?
So what's next is your main frame pieces.
Oh, okay. Now we've got a couple of these. We've got a chunkier one and a skinnier one.
Yeah, so your chunkier one is the base and your skinnier one sits on top. So the reason behind this is what I wanted to create was something three-dimensional.
Okay.
So with a layering aspect to it. And so I came up with this.
Nice idea. I like the design.
Yeah, it's very, very good design.
For this one, I went with sort of an Art Deco feel.
Yes, yeah, I can see
and
that.
then I went more with the other one, more of a sort of swirly, sort of Gothic-y type of feel. Or you could be French Renaissance, depending on what colours you used. So with these, just make sure that you get them the right way, because if you turn it, if you play about with it at home, if you don't have it the right way, as you can see, they won't line up.
Okay.
So it'll be, so what you're looking for.
So yeah, I can see there now,
Yeah.
those ones down at the bottom, yeah.
What
they're
you're
not
looking
quite
for
centred.
is that they're all central
Okay,
when the frames are together.
okay. I think that's
Yeah.
about it, yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to glue this
Okay.
to this.
Wonderful. Now,
Okay.
what sort of adhesive do we need to do that?
Well, you can use any good strong PVA. I'm using Cosmic Shimmer.
Lovely.
I'm sure there's plenty of others out there on the market.
There is, and I
So
think
any PVA glue, craft glue will
makes
do.
sense.
Yeah.
Lovely. We've got that crafty one at the bottom of the screen, so if you do want to get hold of that at the same time, you can do. You're getting 2 pots in there. You are going to get your craft glue, and I think you've got an additional, they're both craft glues in there. We've got one that's 125 mil and one that's 50 mil. Can't quite see, the letters have dropped off, but we will let you know about that, but you'll find them on the website as well. Oh, I've forgotten which way around that was now.
This is the
Double
boring
check with
bit,
it.
but an essential bit.
And a dries clear glue as well.
It does,
I'm guessing
yeah.
that's a good thing to go for.
Yeah. It's very fiddly,
that's
but
better. And is it a case that we need to make sure that we get the adhesive all around the frame and on those little kind of centerpieces as
yes. Yeah.
See, for me, it's an excuse to get my fingers all messy.
I know you're getting right in there, aren't you, darling? Not a bad thing. This is where I actually attach myself to the frame. Which again, I'm guessing is not the best thing to do.
This is the fiddliest bit of the kit.
I'm very conscious that my tongue's not sticking out when I'm concentrating.
It's my glue
If anybody, if you could be on tongue watch just in case.
I'll give you a nudge.
I know, why do you do that?
I don't know. Oh my goodness, we've just been told we're halfway through the first hour. How's that happened?
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Wow.
Goodness.
Crumbs. So Fiona, this is a bit fiddly.
All the concentration. I
Yeah.
can almost hear the cogs going round in my head with this one.
Don't think I'm ever going to get there.
Now, if you have joined us, because I know we have people kind of dipping in and dipping out. So, of course, 2:30 in the afternoon, maybe you've had your Sunday lunch and you're having a bit of a flick around. We're here, we're taking part in a Craftalong, and a Craftalong is a regular thing that we bring here at Chanda, where we bring in crafting experts, just like our fabulous Fiona and our lovely Di, to teach us techniques and ideas. And this time, it's the turn of Tando. And what happens is, before the Craftalong takes place, we give you the opportunity to buy some items, the items that we're working with, so as you can actually craft along at home at the same time. But of course, if you have just joined us, you've not had that opportunity, so you have got the opportunity now. Details are up on the screen, so if you do want to take advantage of this kit, you can see everything that you've got in there that's going to get you started. There are some additional bits and pieces that you might like to use. We've been using additional glues, we've been using some gesso, some crackle glazes, of course things like that, or crackle paste should I say. Those are all personal to you. You may have your favourite brands, but if you don't have those, we do have those readily available on the website, so you'll be able to find those. And of course, when we do the craft-alongs, it is uploaded onto our YouTube channel, so you are able to refer back to it at a later stage. Of course, it's on rewind as with our regular shows, but they tend to only be there for a couple of weeks, and you might find that you want to refer back to this time and time again. Well, you can do, just hop onto our YouTube channel and you'll find all of the previous craft-alongs on there as well. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so make sure everything's pressed down, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I mean, it dries pretty quick, the glue. PVA, no matter what brand you use, is usually pretty good.
Okay. And if you've got any little bits, like I've got a couple of little bits that have oozed out, does that matter?
No, because
Okay.
it dries clear, you won't see it, and we're going to be painting it, so
Perfect.
you're fine.
I've got loads of little bits.
I'm not surprised you were covered in this stuff.
Not your own.
I mean, if you've got big blobs, yes, then you can go in with a wet baby wipe and,
Yeah,
and
just
just
take
wipe
those
it, just
away.
take those away.
No problem.
But apart from that, you know, little tiny bits, you're not going to see.
Extra bit. Oops.
And if you are crafting along with us at home and you fancy letting us know via social media, Facebook, post something up there, let us know that you're crafting along, and perhaps show us where you're up to with your project. Send us a little picture in of those as well.
Right, so okay, your next step is you're going to be painting this, and we're going to be using silver.
Oh, okay. Lovely. Oh, there
You
it is.
did
Yeah.
say we could use gold. didn't
Yes,
you?
I've put a gold there. If you
Yeah,
want to use
I'm gonna be
gold, you can
different.
use in
Ooh,
gold. You
little
can use
rebel.
You're going to be a rebel.
I'm going to be a copycat because I'm a scaredy cat as well. So give it a good shake.
Shake.
And again, we're working with deco art. What do you
Yeah.
like about these paints?
The Deco Art Media Fluid Acrylics, it's just a very good fluid acrylic paint. The colours in it are so vibrant, and it's down to the pigments that they use.
Right.
Very concentrated, and a little goes a long way. And it's a very good mid-range price as well
Yes.
for the crafter.
Because that's sometimes important, because we do try and kind of cut corners sometimes with
Yeah.
costings and
Yeah.
prices,
Yeah.
but you don't always
Always.
benefit from that.
No, you don't.
And we've got the details at the bottom of the screen. Got a bundle that's got the silver in there, the gold is on there. It's on the website as well, so you'll find all of these on there.
So all we're going to do is we're just going to paint all this silver or gold, whichever you choose to do. And
What have you gone for, Margaret?
Silver.
You've gone silver as well.
Silver.
I'm not a gold person.
You're not. I must admit, I do like a lot of my jewellery and things like that. I have in silver tones. So yeah, I guess I'm drawn towards that.
I just have to be different, that's all.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
You're a
darling.
rebel.
I might do that with my other wings when I
Yeah.
do my other project.
And you know, it's personal preference. I mean, you don't have to use the same colours that I've used. I mean, everybody has their own taste. I'm just giving you the basic concept of using the kit and ideas on what colours to apply, and obviously the design team as well. You know, my vision for what I wanted to do with the kit, I did, but everybody else is different. You can take something exactly the same, give it to half a dozen people, and they'll all come back completely different.
I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And is that nice when you're, as a designer, when you sit back and see people kind of take their own confidence to
Yeah.
take that step and change the design a little?
Yeah, you know, when I do teach my workshops, I go with a project, but you always get people that want to use a different colour than I've used, and that's fine, you know, because at the end of the day, I'd rather somebody take home a piece of artwork that they've created in one of my workshops and know they're going to absolutely love it because
Yes.
they've done what they want,
Yeah.
rather than go home and chuck it in the bin saying, well, I didn't like that.
And that's a really
Because I
good
don't
point.
like the
Yeah,
colours,
yeah.
you know, so
And talking about classes and workshops, Fiona, obviously we've just first met you through the Craftalong, but how do we get in touch with you? How do we keep an eye on what you're up to and maybe be a part of those workshops?
well, I'm on Instagram,
Okay.
I'm on social media, on Facebook, and I've also got a blog,
Ooh,
My
okay.
Artful Muse blogspot, which lists all my workshops on
Sorry,
there
what
as
was
well.
that again? Repeat that again, sorry.
My Artful Muse.
My Artful Muse, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Sounds good.
So that'll list all my upcoming workshops on there too. So you know where I am and what I'm doing.
Track you down.
Yeah.
Can't get away.
And Margaret, you've been to some of Di's workshops as well, and I know you're local to me, you're in the Midlands, so it's good to know. Is that locally you've gone to those workshops? Can I tag along next time, maybe?
Sunday wasn't possibly we went to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, via social media, we can find about yours, do I?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do lots and lots of workshops,
Yeah.
I have to say, because I'm normally tied
Too busy.
doing other things. But I do. I did a clock, which I actually had on one of the Hochanda shows
Oh,
recently.
I remember seeing that, yes.
And a lot of people contacted me and asked me to do a workshop on it.
Yes.
So I've sort of done. I've got about 4, I think, booked in around the country.
Oh, keep an eye open for those then, guys.
Yeah, I've done a couple of them, and yeah, I mean, just that's kind of how it happens. I don't generally sort of go out there and say, right, I'm going to try and do lots of workshops.
No, that's fair enough.
As much
And
as
take advantage of those when you get the opportunity. I think that's
well,
the key
yeah,
thing.
that's right.
And of course, you're a regular visitor to us here at Chanda, so of course we can craft with you when you come and you.
Yeah,
do
because
your
I'm
bits
actually
and
back a week on
everything.
Tuesday.
Are you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Week on Tuesday, let me think. Week on Tuesday. Oh, I'll be in.
Oh, I've got all new products, all brand new stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they're all fabulous.
That's good because it's after payday as well.
I know.
That's a bonus for me. Loving this.
What a lovely thing to do on a Sunday afternoon.
Isn't
It's
this
great.
fabulous?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trouble is, you can't see wings.
And the won't. And this paint goes on beautifully.
It does, doesn't it? And it good coverage.
And it dries quickly as well, which is
Yeah.
good because I've just realised I've put my hands on the rest of the frame, but
Yeah.
nothing's coming off.
Yeah.
It's a nice base to be working on as well. It's like a grey board that we're working on.
Yes, I always find grey board is very nice to work on because it naturally sinks into the board anyway, but it seems to sink in nice and evenly.
Yes.
You don't get too many streaks and things, which is nice.
And you can throw a lot of medium at it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
and it
true.
doesn't warp or bend. You know, you can go layer after layer after layer, and it's just amazing stuff. I love it.
How are you getting on over there, Margaret?
Right, I
Ooh,
think.
you're miles ahead. Wow. I need some catching up to do.
I don't think so. Thought I was being a bit slow.
No,
No.
not at all.
We're all about the
As I say, we're
same
not doing too
speed.
bad, are we?
No.
Speaking as a collective then. On behalf of the group.
I must admit, when I did my sample of this, I painted the thin frame separately.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
right.
glue it on, and it seemed to take forever.
Forever.
So this is really nice
It's a
having
good
it glued
tip,
on.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
Yeah.
a good tip.
Yeah, because I'm really heavy-handed, so if I tried to do that, I'd end up probably breaking or warping. So having the support of it underneath, I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got emails coming through as well, so
Lovely.
Good.
find out who's watching us. I hope you're not being too critical, Heather. Especially when you come to look at mine.
You're doing all right.
Oh, that's all right. I feel better now.
All these brown bits.
Catherine got involved, I think, with one of the last Craftalongs, and she was saying how much fun it was. And this is my first time, so yeah, I have to agree.
I think they are good fun.
Yeah.
I've watched them, the previous ones, and I think they're great fun.
To make sure I keep an eye on that schedule and offer to do overtime. It's a Craftalong weekend.
Yeah.
If I've missed any bits, put my glasses
Do we need to worry about going down the sides of these pieces, Fiona? You know, to hand
No.
down the side of the...
No, because we're going to cover it all with antiquing cream in the next
Okay.
step.
Oh, now I think I've got some of that in my crafty stash at home.
I definitely am.
You say you have, Margaret?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like antiquing cream.
Got them off Susan.
Having a brush that's got a wide head to it's good with this. Quite a flat brush that we're working with
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
If I picked up the right one,
yeah.
that is.
Yeah. Yeah. I always work. I prefer flat brushes for mixed media work. You get the coverage with them. Round brushes have their place.
Yes.
But if you used a round brush, you'd be here forever.
Yeah, I don't think I own many round brushes.
No.
No, I tend to use all flat
Yeah,
ones.
actually, when I think
Yeah.
back, I don't think... Excuse me. No, I've just said, we've got that email if you want. No, I'm having a lovely time.
Good.
I don't want to do any work. No, I will. I'll go back into work mode now. So, Steve-O, good old Steve-O.
Oh, good old Steve-O.
Hello,
Hi,
mate.
Steve-O.
And he's saying good afternoon, Fiona, Di, Margaret and Hayley, and all at her chanda. Hi to whoever's in the chair, and that's our lovely Charlotte today, and Holly as well. And then we've got Chloe behind the cameras. Rest of the gallery and the floor crew. That's you, Chloe, you're the crew on, you're the floor crew. It's all just, it's everybody. She's very good. Really great seeing the lovely Fiona doing her inspirational craft along. I've done make and take workshop with the Clever Lady, and it's so nice seeing the projects come together. It certainly is, isn't it, Steve? You're doing great for your first time on TV. A real natural, isn't she, Josh?
Oh,
She
thank
is.
you.
And well done. Hugs to all from Steve-O. Thank
Aw.
you, Steve-O. Thank you for taking that time and talk. And you are so right. I mean, you're just such a natural at this.
Thank you.
I think I'm pretty much done now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do a bit of wiping up because I'm getting myself in the right mess here.
I'm just going to use up this bit of paint, I think, rather than
Lovely.
waste it.
There we go.
I'm
Does
liking
come
this
off-
gold.
It does come
Yeah.
off tables, doesn't it, this paint?
Yes, it does.
Just asking, just in case.
But you already have.
I've already tested it though.
Yeah.
Now again, we're having a little bit of a clean up and a finish off of adding those the colour to our frame. So why not have a little look at those finished projects, different variations of what you can do with your Craftalong pieces. So maybe the first one you're going to be following the Craftalong just as Fiona's teaching us, and your second project perhaps you'll be doing it a little bit like these ladies. Hello again. Now we are busy for the kit, so we've got lots of people joining us that haven't invested in that kit yet, which is not a problem. With any of those Craftalong shows, we always have the products available for you. So if you do decide to get involved afterwards, you can do it. And there might be many of you watching that wouldn't normally craft in this style. So if you fancy getting hold of the kit that we are working with, you can see the details on your screen. All your substrates are featuring within that kit, so you can see all your hearts, your wings, the fabulous framework that we're working with. So many more items as well. So you will have more than enough for your first Craftalong, but you'll also have other items that you can go on and use afterwards. We've got about 15 minutes left of this first hour section, but of course we will be back straight, well, we won't be going anywhere actually, we're staying here, right the way through until 4 o'clock, crafting away with our lovely Fiona and Di, and of course we've got Margaret sitting at the end who won a competition to be a part of this Craftalong. I just happened to be turning up on shift and I'm rather pleased that I am. So there we go, I think we're all done.
Yeah, all done.
What's next?
So the next step, if you're dry, if you're still a bit damp, you can just give it a quick blast with a heat tool, just to make, if you touch dry, you're okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so,
So we're going to cover all this up now with black antiquing cream.
Ooh, okay.
So
again, good shake of the bottle.
good shake of the bottle.
Lots of squishy noises as we're
Yeah.
shaking.
And we're just going to cover the whole thing.
Okay. And does it matter which of the brushes we use? Should we be using the other brush?
No,
No, just any of those.
yeah, any of the brushes.
Now I'm intrigued. I'm going to ask a question that, now that we're going in with the antique, why have we gone over with the silver? We're
Well,
covering it all up.
well, the antiquing cream, as you put it on, when it dries, it is non-permanent. So you can leave it like this, dry for 3 years.
Okay.
And
If I
then
wait
come
3
back.
years for it to dry,
No, just as an example.
I should have written
You
that
can
in the
leave it for
Christmas card.
you can leave it for 3 years and then come back 3 years later and still be able to wipe it back.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So what you'll do is when it's dry, we'll wipe it back and it'll give the appearance of aged metal.
Oh, I like the idea of that.
So you'll still get the silver showing through, but it'll have the aged, oxidised look to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the method that we're using here, we're doing it on grey board, but could we do this on other things?
You can, yeah.
So things like MDF maybe?
MDF, canvas,
Ooh.
cardboard, paper, cardstock, whatever
okay.
you're making, you know, you paint it over the top of acrylic paint and you wipe it back in the same way. Clay, you can use it on
okay.
clay. Resin, so if you've
Like
got
things like plant pots and stuff like that?
yeah, so if you've got plant pots and you want to sort of jazz them up a bit, you can paint them with your desired colour of acrylic paint, and then go over with the antiquing cream, wipe it back, and you've got instant aged tarnished metal plant pot.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah. And
Have you worked with this before, Margaret?
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
I did a box once and wiped that.
Yeah. Nice nice and
I did
easy
a
to
workshop
work
with Andy Skinner.
Oh, Andy's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
Very therapeutic.
Definitely.
Do we have to make sure that we cover every last bit of that silver when we're working
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very fluid though, isn't it?
It is,
It's going
yeah,
on,
that's the thing, it's- yeah.
going on really well.
Now, I don't know if I'm being a bit stingy with mine.
No,
'Cause I can
that's
see-
fine.
Is that okay? Because
Yeah.
I can see a little bit of that silver coming through, but I'm guessing that is part of the appearance.
It is, yeah. I mean, if you look on mine, you can see bits of my silver.
And I suppose it depends on the angle that you're at, because from
Yeah.
here it looks almost like you've gone over it with gesso, because it looks quite dark at this
Yeah.
stage. Whereas with mine, looking over the top of it, it looks more of a kind of silvery black.
Yeah.
This getting into all that nitty gritty and
Yeah,
it is drying very quickly, this.
it does.
Yeah.
I need to turn to the side and find some bits of use.
I've got a very lovely craft mat as well that's covered in the end.
Yeah.
And I've just rubbed my face and I didn't check my hands first, so I may well have it on my face as well.
No,
You
you're
all right?
okay.
No, you're good.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder how our viewers are getting on. I wonder how many of you are crafting along real time just like us, or maybe you're just watching and the plan is that you'll go back on rewind and then craft along afterwards. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you, whichever way you're wanting to work with your craft along. It's your craft along at the end of the day and you can do it exactly as you please. Now, if you are getting involved but maybe not crafting along at the same time, because I'm not going to expect you to email in if you're in the throes of painting, but we'd love to hear from you. So perhaps you've just come across this and you've just watched the craft along and decided to go for the kit. I'd love to know why you've chosen to go for it. Is this your style of crafting? Have you been tempted by Fiona's design to have a go at something else, maybe working with a different style of crafting to what you're used to, and looking forward to the results just as we are here? And I'm guessing what we're doing at this stage, it'd be fabulous if you were working on some of the other items that we've got within the kit, because we've of course got more than enough for the project. We could put onto the front of a journal or an art journal or something like that and do something similar.
Yeah, or if you're making mini books, you can use them on the front of mini books. Yeah. Boxes, you know, because I mean you've got more than enough cogs there, so you could use the cogs, you know, on boxes.
Could indeed, it's a good idea. So with regards to kind of art and crafting, Fiona, how did you kind of stumble across it? Have you always been into art? Have you studied art?
I've always been artistic from a very early age. I started off, as many of us do, crafting, making cards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I went into to scrapbooking.
Yeah.
Then went into digital scrapbooking.
Oh,
So-
right. Oh, I had a program that we used to use for that. Yeah.
So I was on a lot of digital design teams for
Okay.
that, and then I wanted to get more into doing physical artwork, painting again. So I decided to Google some classes, and I stumbled across the Mr. Skinner
Oh, Mr. Skinner's got a lot to answer for.
with his online workshops. So I took all his online workshops and then
Wonderful.
started doing other mixed media workshops. And then I met up with him and at Ali Pali.
Okay.
We got talking, and then he says, you need to come to some of my classes. I says, well, do a class nearer to me and I'll come.
Yeah.
So Ministry of Mixology.
Oh, fabulous.
So that's just up the road from me. So then I started attending Ministry of Mixology, which is where I met Di,
Lovely.
and started going there. and then it just progressed from there. I started doing make and takes at Ministry of Mixology, and
here you are
and
now.
here I am.
Doing
Yes.
Craftalong.
Yes.
Fabulous. Love it. And it's nice because I think at the end of the day, we all get inspired by somebody. And on
Yeah.
your occasion, it was Andy Skin, and many of our viewers will be inspired by you. And obviously, Di, you get lots of people that you inspire as well. And I think that's the beauty of it, because we pass on those kind of crafty knowledges and sometimes learn about crafts that we didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
I'm making a right mess here, I'm not going to lie.
Well, you'll need that. 'Cause
Oh.
that's your next step.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah. So,
Does it need to be completely dry?
no, it doesn't need to be completely dry.
So is that looking okay though? Because I've got,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's absolutely fine. What I
That's
tend to
reassurance.
do,
Why do we do that, Margaret? Why do we not just think, yeah, that's fine? 'Cause I
baby
don't think we
wipes
do.
are always a little bit wet. So what I tend to do is I squeeze mine in a piece of kitchen roll.
Okay, good to
Um, and then all we're going to do is just wipe it back.
Okay.
So what you've just put on, you're basically going to take it back off again.
Right. Oops.
And as you're taking it off, you're getting this tarnished effect from the antiquing cream. You can take off as much or as little as you want.
Oh, okay, right. Oh, I like that.
And as you go inside, these little bits here, you're getting this worn appearance. Beige metal.
This looks like it's like so aged. It looks like something
Yeah.
that you'd see, I don't know, in a cathedral or something like that with a raw tie-in.
Yeah.
We've got loads of people watching via social media. Lots of you, we've got Beth Torrey, we've got people watching from America as well.
Wow.
Valerie, Mary's in New York. Oh, wow. Now, I'd normally say I'd love to be where you are, Mary, but at the moment I'm quite happy where I am. So, yeah. But New York is a fabulous place to visit.
I've never been.
Have
I'd
you
like
not?
to.
Oh, it is amazing. I've only been there once, and there's so much to fit in. I could only cope with about 5 days because I think it could be a bit intense.
Yeah.
And we're planning to go back again, so I was quite happy that 5 days would be long enough for that trip. There's so much to see.
Yeah, I bet. No, I've got quite a few friends that have been.
Oh,
you know.
go. If you get the chance, definitely go.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to get rid of you or anything like that, just add that in as a disclaimer. This is a lovely effect. What do you reckon to this, Margaret?
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
good,
it's
isn't it?
brilliant. And it's looking good on the gold.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh, we might have a little nosy at yours in a second, actually, Dan. If you show me yours, I'll show you mine. I've got to get it in there at some point, haven't I, during the air? We've got 2 hours special. Of course, we are here as a Craftalong. I'm not quite sure where we're up to within that first hour. Yeah, we're almost halfway through our Craftalong. And I don't know about you, but I've never a whale of a time.
Yeah.
Getting very looker.
Yeah.
I've got my fingers in here and all sorts, but it doesn't matter.
No.
I think that's the thing, and we were just chatting when we were looking at some of the things that the design team have been up to. It's almost as if you have to give yourself permission to get mucky and dirty with mixed media, isn't it? And messy crafting. And yeah, sometimes we do forget that there's nothing wrong with that, 'cause you can just clear all the bits up and wash your hands and wash anything where you're getting that paint involved. But it's about having fun and exploring and getting those results. I like the fact that when you're actually wiping this, you can't get right into some of those pieces. So it's almost like you've got that build up in there.
And that's the whole point of it.
Is it? Now, of course, we've been working with the antiquing cream. We have had Dawn email in, and she's saying that if you haven't got the antiquing cream, is there anything that you could use that would be similar?
Yeah, you can use black acrylic paint, any brand. You can paint it on, don't let it dry, wipe it back. So you get the same effect with the black acrylic paint. With the antiquing cream, you can let that dry because, as I say, it's designed to be wiped back when dry and as much or as little as you want. But if you're using an acrylic paint, sort of pop it on and then wipe it back virtually straight away.
Because it can dry quite quickly.
Yeah.
And then act as a resist.
Yeah, so you know you can use that and get the same effect.
Lovely. And does it need to be something that's quite fluid? So I had a suggestion. Somebody's asking about using something like your gilding wax. Would that work?
You can use gilding wax, and if all else fails, you can use good old black boot polish.
Oh, I say.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
So that's waxy, that's black. You can wipe it on, wipe it off. It has the same effect. So, you know, that's what people used to use years ago. They used to use shoe polish for antiquing effects. So, yeah.
No problem at all. Now, while we're having cleaned up and comparing each of our artwork, why not check out what the design team have been up to? And again, you're going to get inspiration from this, and we'll be back with you in a minute or two. Shan't be long. We're just having a little chat here. If you've just joined us, hello, it's good to have your company. We are just going into our second hour of our 2-hour craft along, and we've been having a whale of a time. If you have just joined us, though, don't worry, you can go back on rewind, you can see what we've been up to. But we've been working with our craft along kit that's been designed by this lovely lady to my left, who is the fabulous Fiona, and she's teaching us during this craft along. You'll recognise our lovely Di, because Di's here to hold our hands as we go. And Margaret at the end there is a new face to us here at Chandra, and you're one of our viewers and a customer for Chandra as well.
Yes.
Oh yes, she's there. Not too much for anybody that's watching in the green room.
Just don't spend it.
If it happened, just it happened to be. So thank you for joining us. We're learning how to create this fabulous project that Fiona has designed at the front of the table there, sitting on the easel, and it's a lovely winged project. Now the items that you need to get that effect, the heart, the wings, and that fabulous frame that we're working on at the moment are all part of your craft along kit, details of which are on your screen, and you can see all the elements there, way more than you need for this one project. So you're going to be able to create with this project and then have items left over so as you can go on to your next project. 2 flexi-buy payments of £20 if you've not already invested in yours, and of course once you get that back you can go back and watch on rewind. 2 weeks rewind we'll have our craft along available for, but longer than that on YouTube you can go back and watch after that time has elapsed. Now so far we've been working on our wings, we've been working on the backboard, and of course we did those fabulous frames if you did join us previously, but we've brought the backboards back in again. Lots of backs in that sentence then, wasn't there?
Yeah, so your backboard now should be dry, and all we're going to do is apply some washes to this to give it a bit more interest.
Does it matter if it's not quite dry?
No, mine's touch dry.
Yeah, so mine's not, it feels
tacky.
Yeah, a little bit tacky and cold.
Yeah, so that's
but
fine.
it's not coming off on my hands, so that's okay.
So that's fine.
I think I had a blob.
Did you have a blob?
I've got very dark fingernails at the moment.
Right, it's the antiquing cream. I'll do that for you. So the next thing you're going to use is the Deco Art Media Fluid Acrylic in Payne's Grey. And we're just going to apply a little bit of that to your craft mat.
Now this is a name that I've heard regularly used. I know Andy's used this a lot. Payne's Grey. It's one of those staple colours.
It is. You can mix it with other colours to make rust. You can use it on its own. You can have it light. You can have it dark, depending on if you water it down. Okay. And you can add it to tinting base.
Oh, okay.
So you can make a lighter grey.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, like that. So of course Deco Art again, good brand, good name, and I'm sure you'll be able to find that on the website as well. Good old shake before you get started.
Good old shake, yeah. And all I'm going to do is add some water to my craft mat.
So we've got about a 5p piece size blob.
With some water to your craft mat. use your bigger brush. Yep.
Okay,
And then I'm just
plenty of
gonna
water.
take a little bit and add it to the water.
To dab the corner of your brush in.
Yeah,
And then
add
mix
it,
it up.
mix it to the water.
Oh, you can see that gorgeous. It's like a bluey grey.
Bluey grey, yeah. And then all we're going to do is spritz your board.
Okay.
Give your board a spritz just to help the paint move, and we're just going to brush.
Now, are we
In a
talking
wash.
about a light shower or a downpour?
Well,
No, you're down.
Is that about right?
yeah, and we're just going to brush.
Okay, and again, just in one direction?
Yeah, from top to bottom. Just keep adding it as a wash, and then just keep spritzing your board in between so you can move it around.
Okay. So we're looking kind of those rainy dribbles.
Yes.
I'm coming up with all the vocabulary today. Lots of Haleyisms coming into this conversation.
Pouring rain. It's supposed to have blobs.
Oh, all gone into the grey. Oh, now that's a bit dark. Does that matter?
No, because what you can do is you can spritz it with your water bottle, as I'll show you in a minute. Like this, look. If you spritz with your water bottle, then it'll disperse it,
Aha, there you go.
make it lighter, and you can move it around. Just so you're getting a coverage and just some movement in with the texture. You don't want a solid colour of the Payne's grey. That's why we're using a lot of water, watering it down to give it, and you'll see it will catch.
Yeah, because
On the little-
you've got like
in
little
the
peaks and
texture,
troughs.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
almost like little mini puddles in
Yeah.
there where it's kind of gone into those the troughs. And I was very good to start with. I was doing it all in one direction, but now I'm going up and down.
That's
It doesn't
fine.
matter, does
No.
it?
Because when you spritz it and you're moving it around, look, it's evened it
true.
all itself out.
Very true.
And it just gives a nice effect. It's plain, but not plain. There's just
Yeah.
that hint of an interest
Plain
there.
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that effect, how it's all pooling.
Pulled in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pulls in different areas.
I just like playing.
Margaret's just enjoying playing, bless her. Love it. This is brilliant.
And you can do this effect with any colour.
Ooh. Chasing those dribbles now. Right? Oh gosh, that is effective, isn't
It is,
it?
isn't it?
And it's picking up, as I say, all the peaks and troughs of
Yeah.
the texture that you applied with your sponge on the gesso. And it just gives you that little bit of interest. So you've not got a stark plain white background, you've just got that, you're keeping with the hints of the grey, the silver tones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit like a game. I'm trying to get into that bottom right hand corner. It's not quite
And
good.
what you can do is you can quickly dry this with your heat tool, which with it being a wash, it won't take long to dry.
I'm determined to get that bottom corner. I got it now. Right,
Yeah,
we're okay.
got it.
Done with that.
Because have you got that?
Mine looks like, well, I think that's where I have the sponge.
Yeah, but it's a nice effect.
Yeah, it's a bit cloudy. Cloudy, all like you say, Margaret Waves, yeah.
I think that's a bit dry. Have to go.
I'm being so nosy, I'm watching everybody else's.
Does it need to be completely dry?
No, just because we'll pop it to one side,
Right.
because we'll put it all together at the end. It's just to
Lovely, thank
dry
you,
off the
Fiona.
excess,
Okay.
and then we can pop it to one side.
I shall pop that away then.
And this is kind of one of those, what I call a slow heat gun.
It is.
So is that always a good idea?
Yeah, for when you're drying paint and different things, you only want a gentle heat. You don't want a harsh heat. The other heat guns are more for where you want harsh heat for your embossing powders, because you need the heat to melt them. But for mixed media work, just a gentle heat, because majority of the paints, they dry pretty quick anyway.
Yes, yeah. It's all in that formulation. Again, that's down to that professional quality, and of course with Deco Art, that's exactly what you're getting. All of the paints that we've been working with, you'll be able to find those on the website. At the bottom of your screen, you've got that tinting-based collection where you've got the silver that we worked with, also your Payne's grey, and you've got a little bit of turquoise in there as well, which I've got a feeling might make an appearance as the hour progresses. And of course, we are into our second hour now of our Craftalong, and we're having a whale of a time. Okay. And did you say it needs to be completely dry at this stage?
No, it doesn't need to be completely
oh, yes,
dry.
We're going to leave it.
Because we can leave that
while.
to the end and when we put it all together.
Wonderful. I'm going to pop mine back over there again, if that's okay. Do I need to bring anything back with me, Fiona?
No.
No? Okay.
Everything's
Not that it's a
fine.
long journey to go.
That's fine. Let's move.
The wings should be cracking lovely by now.
And that'll fit in next.
I must admit, I didn't have a look. I should have had a little nosy at them, shouldn't I? And we are working on kind of those reusable mats as well. It's important to protect your surface. So I think we've got some, was it the Be Crafty ones? Be Crafty girls, bless them. We've got that, oh gosh.
I'm good.
You got one under the lid.
Oh yeah, oh crikey.
Oh dear me. Yeah, look away just for a moment. If you do want to take advantage of any of those items, perhaps those Be Crafty sheets, they are at the bottom of the screen. They're $9.99 and they are good because they do protect your table as long as you don't get all your paint underneath it like I have. But there you go. All sorted. 2013963 if you're wanting those. And now we're moving on to the heart and the heart. Okay.
So start with the hearts first. So you should have one large heart and a heart that's been cut into 2 pieces.
Oh, it's like a jigsaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what we're going to do with these is we're going to take some of your media tinting base.
Lovely. Okay.
And I'm going to use this for its intended purpose this time.
Okay, I like that.
So
this is part of that paint bundle, I think, that we were chatting about a few moments ago.
So the tinting base was developed by Deco Art to be intermixable with all their paint range.
Okay.
So you can use it as a base, add your colour to it, and you get different shades of that colour.
Okay. Did you see what I did there, Diana? I waited, I dallied, because I knew that you'd have to take the lid off. So I thought, because I won't get the lid off, so I'll let Diana do it.
I struggled, I tell you.
Maybe I'll get the lid off.
I've got the details up on the screen there, the main details now. This is showing you exactly what you're getting in there. So that tinting base that we're about to use, you've got a lovely pot of that there. You've got the Payne's grey that we just used a few moments ago, the cobalt turquoise, and of course the silver that we used on that frame as well. So the tinting base, what do we need to do with the tinting base?
So all we need to do is take a bit out of the pot, pop it onto your craft mat, and then with your cobalt turquoise hue, we're going to add a bit of that in, and just mix it to create a light blue. And this is what the tinting base was developed for.
So presumably I could use a different colour then?
You can. You can use a different colour.
What do you suggest? A red?
Red, yeah.
Oh, of course, because you went with the gold tones, didn't you? Yeah.
So
That'd be nice, red.
This is just a base that we're going to base coat all the heart pieces with, because we're going to be brayering the neat colours on top.
Okay. Oh, it mixes nicely, doesn't it, this?
Yeah. I use tinting base, lots of it, but I use it as opposed to gesso.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So why is that your preferred way of using it?
It gives me a lot smoother finish to my pieces, so it's nice and smooth and flat, and it also dries quicker than gesso.
Okay.
And
Good
but it's
tip.
still got some tooth there as well.
Okay. And do we still get that kind of chalky effect that we would get with gesso?
Yes.
Okay.
Gesso has its place, and
Yeah.
I still use gesso. I've used gesso today.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
You know, but I use tinting base more so
Yeah.
for gesso rather than the actual
It's funny, isn't
what
it?
it's intended to be used for, which is what we're doing now.
Okay.
So all we're going to do now is we're going to paint all your heart pieces
Okay.
with your chosen colour. Just give them a good coat, and you'll see by the coverage that you get with it why I love it.
It's smooth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's in one coat.
Ooh, yeah, nice. It's got very creamy texture.
Yeah.
You're doing both bits.
So both pieces, the large heart and the smaller jigsaw
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
What about the edges? Are we doing the
Oh,
edges?
good question.
No.
No?
Oh,
No.
okay. I'll stop then. Well, I've got half and half with mine.
You can do the edges if you want to. I
Okay.
don't, because you're going to ink them at the end anyway.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
Good point.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not normally a pink person, but I'm actually
Oh,
liking
that's
this.
nice, because that was quite an
Lovely.
intense red that you added to.
It was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, I like that. Oh, this is like being in the restaurant and ordering food and then looking across and thinking, oh, we should have
After
that.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Or looking before you order.
Oh, yeah, mind you, I've done that before now as well. Called the waitress over, what's that? We're getting some lovely emails in. Lots of people who've been crafting for many years. Diane, so Diane, you've been in touch. Good to have your company during this hour. Are you getting involved with the Craftalong? She's been crafting for how long? 10 years.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Wow, that's a long time, isn't it? And she's one of our favourite viewers. She loves watching us. Thinks we're the best. I wouldn't like to say, but...
So do
Oh, thank you, Margaret. Well, it's nice to be able to do things like this, isn't it? I mean, really clever idea. I don't know who came up with the idea to start with. I know Barbara Gray did our first one, and I know Leslie, Chocolate Baroque, she has gotten involved. John Lockwood, he's done one as well. And of course, we've got Fiona here and Di with the current one. They've got lots more in the pipeline. I know lots of requests from viewers as well that I've asked about getting Craftalongs going with certain people. So
I
yeah.
think it's a great idea.
It is,
Yeah,
it's
so do
good,
I.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Because we
so
can't
do I.
all get to exhibitions and classes and workshops.
No.
Especially if you're working.
And I think as well, there's some people that, for whatever reason, are too scared to travel outside the home,
Yeah.
and so it's nice for them to be able to experience a workshop environment in the comfort of their own home and get that feeling. So
yeah.
you know, so that's
And
good
it's a
too.
confidence builder, because I
It
know I've been to
is.
classes and workshops and we all have that thing with, I know it's a silly question, but, and I think being at home and doing it in the comfort of your own home, you're not frightened to make mistakes, whereas
No.
if you are out and about in a class or a workshop, you might feel quite intimidated
Yeah.
that there's going to be other people there with more experience.
Experience.
Yeah.
Lovely. What was I about to do? Oh yes, I was wiping this up, wasn't I?
So you'll find that this is dry.
Oh, it
Virtually
is,
dry.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That didn't
Perfectly
take long
dry.
at all.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So all we're going to do now is a bit of Brayering. So we're going to use your cobalt turquoise hue, your Payne's grey, and your silver. But in Di's case, you'll be using your gold.
I
So
think
you'll
I've
be
got enough
using
of
your
that.
red, your Payne's grey, and your gold.
Red,
I've
Payne's
got enough here
grey.
to paint a wall, I think. I got a little bit carried away.
That's the
It's
sealed
silver.
one, isn't it?
So
Now
all
we're
we
already
do,
15 minutes into that second hour. Wow. Are we doing okay time-wise, though? Where you
Yeah.
expected us to be? Oh, that's
yeah,
good.
you're where I'm expected you to be. So all we do, a little bit of paint on your brayer. You don't need to do your big one because that's the base. We just covered that,
Oh,
so
okay.
Put that to one
you
side.
don't see underneath, and it's just on your two little pieces in just random areas, just brayer from the edge across your heart.
So just the one colour?
Yeah, just one colour at a time. So you do with your Payne's grey, your turquoise, and then your silver. So we're just adding touches of each colour with the brayer to the heart.
Give this a quick wipe.
Oh, I think I've gone a bit heavy-handed with this.
Does it matter?
Does that matter?
No.
A bit heavy-handed
That's
with
fine.
most things, to be honest.
I've done my grey first, is it not?
Are you doing your blue or your grey first?
I did my turquoise first,
Yeah.
and then my grey, and then I go with the silver.
Okay. I think that's got all the red out of it.
Alright. Here goes nothing. Oh, I don't know about that.
No, it's still a bit still on there.
Do
I
we need
like
to
the
clean?
effect of yours.
Well, that's called the heavy-handed
No,
technique.
but I like that. That looks really good.
Yeah, hammer.
So do you need to clean my brayer in between? Doesn't matter.
I'll just give it a quick
But
wipe.
there is a lot of turquoise
Yeah.
on it. I think I'll probably best.
Put yours on mix.
Yeah, because I think now we're both doing Payne's grey. So do yours, it's all right. Do yours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Brayers and all the tools that we're working with as well. We have got those on the website. That's great. I'm going to be more frugal with my grey, I think.
Marvellous. Thank you.
Bash, bash, bash. Is that all you can hear in this
Bish, bash,
studio? Oh, I'm liking this. They're all so different as well.
That's what I like about it.
Mm.
Everybody's is so different, but you're just doing the same thing.
Now, can I just double check that I've done the right side here? So when I'm looking at my jigsaw pieces, it's the one where we've kind of got the
Yeah.
the taller part of the heart is on the right hand side. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you're going in with your metallic, yeah? Your last
Says
one.
me who's done the wrong side.
I've done it the same as you.
Yeah.
Have I? I think I've done it the same.
I've done that.
That's it. That's what I've
Oh, I
done.
see the top and bottom. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You've got time if you wanted to do it.
So I can
You
do
need
that
to-
way.
Yeah, because I still haven't put my silver on. I'm covered
Can
in
do
the
that
paint
way.
here. Oh, okay. Oh, mixing it up. I like it.
Come on.
Right, a little bit of silver.
Now this is the good thing about making mistakes, as I've just proved. It's not a disaster.
See, I like the way that you orchestrated that to look as if it was a mistake, and it wasn't really. It's just the opportunity of how to show us to put it right.
Yes,
Well, there you go.
if not, get a butterfly. That's what I don't do. I don't go both ways. And all that.
Oh, do you
Perhaps
not?
No, perhaps that's what I ought
Well, it
to
depends
do.
what the finished look is, doesn't it, really?
I've not used a brayer much, I have to say.
Now, when the silver goes down, you can't see an awful lot of it. Is
You
it 'cause
can't,
you get that
but
shimmer
you get the
after?
shimmer after.
Ah.
Yeah. There you go.
I haven't covered everything. No, I think we're all
Clean this
right.
up for you so you haven't got a load of gold in it.
Mumbling to myself.
I don't know. I tried a bit of red, so I think I did. I can't see it. Perhaps I tried.
Oh, let's have a look, Margaret. Oh, nice. That looks nice. Oh,
Thanks so much.
we've got the camera on you at the moment. There you go. Number 6 there. Do you want to hold it? There you go. Look at that, like a true professional. I love it. Margaret, that's really nice. I like that because I've gone heavy-handed with my colours. I've gone really deep
but
in,
I-
yeah.
yeah, but I think that's a nice effect.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Look at yours. Oh, yours is nice.
Yeah, I don't know if I want a bit more red on it.
It looks a little bit purply. Is that where the grey's gone involved?
Yeah.
Right now, Di, you've been here before. You know how to do it. Camera 6 over there. Show our Holly, and she'll show all the good people at home. Look at that. That's nice. That is nice, yeah. Oh, we're getting a thumbs up from the gallery. They're liking what we're doing so far. That's good. That means that the screen's not going to go black because they like it.
I think I'm going to put a little bit more red on.
You're going to go for a bit more red.
I am, yeah.
Good. You go for it.
And as quick as that, I caught up.
There you go. Okay, don't draw attention to the fact that we're slow for you. It's not nice now, I mean, it just shows you that tinting base is so fast, isn't it?
It dries fast.
Right, now we need to clean up a little bit. Our brayers are getting all mucky, as is our working area. And of course, if you have just joined us, we are working with our Craftalong kit at the front of the table there. I'll show you that again in a few moments. But of course, when you get yours home, you could be creating just as we are here in the Craftalong, or maybe you'll be taking inspiration from the design team. Wow, that one with those feathers at the end there. Are they resin feathers or have they been
Clay.
done? Clay.
Air dry clay, yeah.
Very effective. Really nice idea. I do like that one. Right. So how are we doing, ladies?
Yeah.
All right? All good? All
Yeah,
cleaned
all
up?
good.
Fabulous. Right. So what's next, Fiona?
So to finish edging the heart, we're just using some archival ink in grey,
Lovely.
and we're just going to apply it all around the edges of your heart. You've got a little
Oh, a
sponge.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, should have a little bit of sponge each.
Oh, I'll pop that back before I knock it over.
Good idea.
And we're just highlighting the edges.
And any tips for this? What sort of angle should we keep in the pad at? Does it matter?
I just do it flat down,
Okay.
you know, to the side.
And going kind of from the front down to the side?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm guessing because it's mixed media, there's no real rules.
no, as long as you, it just
Well, I
edges
am.
the piece and defines it, and that's all you're looking for.
Does make a difference when you do that as well,
It
though,
does,
doesn't it?
yeah.
I know we see lots of our crafters do that. Now, if, Catherine was doing it with some of the one-day special shows, and Leonie regularly uses that. And the grey, it's a nice idea to use the grey more so than the black. Is that right?
Yeah, because I wanted to tone it in with the silver and grey theme.
Good point, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a
think
bit softer too.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do we need to go around the angular pieces of the heart as well? That
Yeah,
kind of
I
little
just
notch
went
bit.
round those, yeah.
Okay. Concentrate. We're gone quiet again. Can tell we're
Yeah,
concentrating.
concentrating.
I'm liking this. I can't get over how dry it is as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
In the time that we've been working.
It dries really quick.
Yeah.
Even the fluid acrylic paints dry really quick. That's why I like it.
And with the fluid acrylics, once they're dry, that's it. They're kind of set. You can't do anything with them, can you? So,
No.
yeah, make sure that you get any of those effects before you leave it. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like that effect.
Yeah,
actually,
it's
really.
nice.
Is that watering can grey or is it?
Yeah,
I know
watering
I know
can.
you
Watering can.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
haven't got that.
Is
yeah.
that on your shopping list? I know a good place you can get that.
I want some of that as well.
And it's so different from the original base colour. You know,
Well,
where
that's true, because that's where we started, isn't it?
yeah.
When you put the two side by
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
Excuse my mucky fingers. I mean,
And the only reason I did the base heart because when you raise it up, when you're raising it, you're gonna that piece is going to be on there, and then with this bit being raised, you don't want to see grey board underneath. You want to see a tone on tone of the colour. Yeah.
I'll check that and I'm checking mine then to make sure. We'll be all right.
So your next step is your cogs.
Oh, cogs.
Cogs.
Now we've got loads of these. Again, all part of that kit. Oh, we've got here, we've got all sorts of different shapes.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, little hearts in some of those as well.
they're
Nice.
great, aren't they,
Yeah.
these shapes?
Do you like those? Okay.
Different shapes. So all we do is, depending on how many cogs that you want to pop under your piece, you can have them two on the top. You can have one sitting under the bottom like this. Just as a layer, you can have 2 or 3 or 4.
Okay.
It's down to personal choice. I'm going to do 4. If I don't use one, then that's fine, but I'd rather have too many than not enough
That's it.
for what I want. And all we're going to do is, with a finger, we're just going to dab texture sand paste on them,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
just to give them a bit of texture.
Nice.
You can apply it with a brush, but I like to use my finger because I only want a thin coat. I want it to dry quick, so I can paint it.
Get my fingers in that one as
Yeah,
well.
just dab with the pad of your finger.
Oh yeah, you can feel that kind of grittiness, isn't there?
Yeah,
Now, is this going to change the colour of it? With mine, it's quite a creamy tone, but it's not covering it colour-wise.
no, it's not going to change the colour of it. It goes on white, but it will dry like a grey colour.
Okay.
But we're going to paint it, so you're not going to see it. We just want the texture.
Okay. Just to give you a time check, Fiona, we've got about 30 minutes left.
We're fine.
Okay.
We're nearly there.
Wonderful.
Because once we've painted these, it's all about putting it all together.
Lovely.
When you've done that, just give it a quick blast with the heat tool, just for a couple of seconds. For you.
Wonderful. All that. So 1 for 3. I'm being a bit frugal. I'm not going to lie, because I'm going to get my most out of me sheet. Because I'm thinking if I only use 3 on this one, it leaves me more for
You've
other
got more
projects.
left, for other things.
Yeah.
You actually get 2 whole sheets of these
Do you?
in
Oh,
the kit.
Yeah.
we should have known that. I would have thrown an extra one.
3,
No,
6,
I'm going to stick with the 3 that I've got.
So you actually get 30
30?
in the kit.
Wow, gosh, you've been generous with this kit. Now, talking of the kit, shall I show you what you're getting within that kit? Because you're going to get those fabulous cogs, as you can see there. Oh, yeah, 2 down at the bottom there. You're going to get your 2 pairs of wings. We've already got ours drying off behind us with crackle glaze on there. You've got your frame that we've built up already in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that. And then you've got those fabulous hearts, 2 sets of those. So everything that we're creating here, you can do it again if you wanted to. And then, of course, you've got your backboards, 2 of those. You've got your stencil, which, of course, you only need 1 because you'll be able to use that over and over again. And then you've got some elements in the top right-hand corner. We've not actually used those yet. Will we get to use those as well? It's kind of this piece that we've got here. It's almost like a kind of Baroque look frame that we've got at the front there.
We won't be using that. No,
Ah,
that's
so we can
part
use
of
that
the other
another
kit.
time.
Yeah, you can use that
Ah.
another time.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But we've got the skills, we know how to use it. Details are on your screen there, so if you've not invested in your kit already, then you have got time to get hold of it, and then you can watch it, watch the Craftalong again at a later stage. It'll be on our Rewind feature on our website for a couple of weeks, but beyond that it will be on YouTube, so you will be able to continue to watch it there. And lots of you invested in that kit, so it's good to have your company. You're going to love it. There's loads in there. And if you do need the additional things, we have got a little bit of a shopping list of other items. We might show you that before the end of the hour, but we've got things like your gesso in there, and the paints that we've been chatting about. You'll find most of it on the website, and some of it you might already have. So I need to blast those, don't I?
Blast your cogs. And once you've blasted them,
That's a
all I'm
phrase if
doing,
ever I heard one, isn't it?
yeah,
To be dry.
just give them a coat of the silver
Done.
or the gold if you've used the gold paint.
Oh, I like that effect.
What colour do the wings, please?
Silver.
Silver.
Oh yes, it does give them a gritty feel.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is great for rust effects
It
as well,
is.
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I like those.
Put my glasses on.
Permanently got mine,
Just while we're adding the paint, do you want to have a little look at that kind of shopping list? These are the things that you'll need if you're working the way that we have been working during this 2-hour session. You've got things like your acrylic paints, and then you've got your gessos, your crackle paints. Of course, these can be whichever of the brands that you choose to use, but if you do want to use the ones that we've been working with, which are the the Deco Art range, then you will find many of them on the website. Some of them have been put together, like the paints have, in a custom-built little kit, so you can find those on the website. And yeah, as I say, there's loads so that you will already have in your stash, I'm sure.
That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you can go with any colour scheme, can't you?
You can.
Don't,
It's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
You don't have to go with what you've done today.
I mean, you know, we're doing metallic cogs today. You can do rusty cogs
Oh, you
if you're in
could,
with a
couldn't you?
rusty
Yeah.
theme. Yeah, you can use your gilding waxes on them.
Good idea.
So once you've painted them silver, give them a quick blast with your heat tool and then apply your antiquing cream again.
Oh, so a bit like we did with the frame before.
Yeah. And so when you wipe back on the cogs, because you've got the texture sand paste there, it's going to grab
I'm being very tidy.
You are, I'm impressed.
I'm not normally this tidy.
Certainly.
I normally end up with a little six-inch square when I'm crafting.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm a bit like I get smaller and smaller, and then you
Yeah.
suddenly think, why am I doing this? Why am I working this way?
So when you've applied your antiquing cream to your cogs and you wipe back, you're giving them that same effect as your frame.
Oh, you can tell I'm concentrating, I've gone quiet. Are you getting on over there, Margaret? You all right?
Yes, thanks.
Good. I think this is going to go pride of place. Now I'm trying to decide whether to keep it in the presenter's lounge or to take it home and put it in the classroom. We're getting a bit of a gallery in there because we've got Charlie's workshop that he did with Matthew Palmer, that's there. And we've got loads of fabulous little pieces. We get pieces sent in from our viewers as well, which is
Oh,
nice.
do
So
you?
we've kind of got
That's
those
nice.
tucked away in there. So, yeah. Lovely. Now I've forgotten, I do need to dry these, don't I, before I wipe them away?
Yep, just a quick dry.
They look like they're metal now.
Yeah.
I know it sounds a daft thing to say, but they do look as if you've got them out of one of those kind of big tubs of metal embellishments, but
Yeah.
just using that to grey but and you've got now you've got 2 sheets of these, so we're looking at, where am I, 12, it's 15 on each sheet, 30 of those in total over the 2 sheets. That's amazing. And of course lots of different effects, as we've spoken of, different colours that you're going to be working with, so a bit of that. Now, is it the kitchen towel or is it the baby wipe? Right, oh, I've got a collection of those
Yeah.
down here. I'll use one of those.
We're going to dry them first or just straight on?
I dried mine a little bit.
Oh, I'm pleased with these.
Yeah, they look good, don't they?
They do. I'm just thinking of all the other things because I tend to buy. I suppose a lot of people buy things like tags and different substrates, and you've got them, and it's like, now what do I use it for? And you're almost frightened to open the pack. But the key thing is, get the pack open, get in there, get crafting with it.
Yeah.
Tags are especially good for trying out all these techniques.
They
actually,
are, yes,
they are really
yeah.
good. Yeah. And then you can keep them all in a binder.
It's a good idea actually because you can write the techniques or the ingredients on the back of it, and then you can go back and do the techniques again. How's that looking? Is that looking all right there, Fiona?
Fabulous.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So now what we can do next, we can just pop them to one side for a minute.
So all those bits that we've just worked on,
We can pop to one side. We can bring our wings in.
Oh, I'll go and get those. That's my cue.
Yeah, we can bring our wings in. So hopefully,
Right. Fiona, yours were on the left. Oh,
they're looking amazing.
Oh, gosh, that's effective. Oh, we need a bit of show and tell, I think, with this section because these look amazing.
They look really good.
yeah,
Oh, wow. That is effective.
yeah.
Oh, let me hold it. Should I hold mine up and show you mine first? I'll have a little look at Margaret's and then I'll look at them as well. Right, look at that. Now that was so easy, Fiona, because it's just that one paste.
Yeah.
In the past, I've worked with crackles where you need 2 layers and you
Yeah.
don't always get that effect, but that is really nice. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah.
Have you got on with yours over there, Margaret? There you go, she knows. She's getting ready for that camera 6. Now, if you tilt them just a little bit forward, because of the way with the white, so the top of your wing's going forward. There you go. Oh, Margaret, you can come back again. You're fabulous.
Oh, good. Well,
Lovely. I like that. Can we kind of determine the size of those cracks depending on how much we put on?
Yeah. The thicker you apply the paste, the thicker the cracks. The
Okay.
thinner you apply the paste, the thinner the cracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So it determines. So if you put it on, spread it on a canvas, and you spread it really thick, you will get really big, thick
Ooh,
eggshell
nice,
cracks.
yeah. I've just noticed where I think I must have got my finger in there a little bit. So some of those, like you say, are just small, almost like mesh-like cracks. But I'm happy with that.
So all we're going to do with these wings now is the wash that we used for the baseboard with the Payne's Grey. We're going to do exactly the same over the wings.
Right. Now, time-wise, guys, can you believe we've only got 20 minutes left in this 2-hour session? It's been a fabulous session, one of our regular craft-alongs. Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be too long before we have more of those available for you. But if you are getting involved in this one now, then you have got all the items that you need as your bases on the screen, and of course all the paints and everything that we're using. You can add those into your basket alongside.
So all we're going to do is just completely go over the whole of the wing, the edges of the grey board as well, because that just defines that, and it'll highlight the cracks.
It's almost like a denim blue, isn't it?
Yeah. And then this is your last step, and we just put everything all together.
Oh, perfect timing then. Oh. Concentrating again.
All goes quiet when the concentration's there.
Now, if you have just tuned in, just to see what we're up to here at Tando, we're in the middle of our craft along. Regular shows are going to continue after this hour, so I think we've got a bit of a sewing show going on after this. We've got Tudor Rose Crafts coming up at 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock is going to be our final call with a one-day special, and of course our lovely Catherine here with Sizzix, and then we'll be launching a brand new one-day special at 6 o'clock with Debbie. Garland, isn't it? I only know her as Debbie. How lovely is that? I forgot what her surname was for a moment then. So yeah, do stay tuned. We've got lots more coming up, and it's really good to have your company, not only if you are crafting alongside us, or if you have just dipped in and wondering what we're up to. Oh, sorry, that's a big blob there. What's this? Have you gone in this time? You've gone in with your Payne's grey again, because of course you Di, you've got the use the Payne's grey earlier, but yours is going to look a little bit different because you chose some different colours to us.
Yeah.
Warmer tones. Is that kind of one of the colours that you tend to go for?
No, I'm a very blue person,
really?
actually, normally.
Okay.
But I just thought I'd be different.
No, it's a good idea actually. It's having that confidence to do that. I'm a bit of a sheep sometimes when I'm doing something the first time. I'm not to the point where I'm measuring things, because I know I've been in classes and workshops where people have measured where embellishments go to match what the tutor's showing us, so I'm not quite that bad, but not that's a bad thing to do if you want to go that route. Use the last of that paint up. And again, can we kind of move this around by picking them up? Will it still dribble in the same way?
It will.
Because I've got lots of paint there, so make sure you use that. Get all that in there. And of course the grey board is picking up that paint as well.
It is.
Lovely. Fiona's getting ready for the next stage. Now, while we're kind of finishing, Di's got another of her wings to do here as well, and of course we're going to have a little bit of a clean up before we get to the next session. So shall we have another little look at what the design team have been up to with theirs, and then hopefully by the time you join us we'll be ready to get on to the next stage. Check these out. Love that. And just as Margaret's just finishing off her edges there, I mean, Fiona, the different techniques that we're seeing and the different colours really does make a difference with this base kit that we're working with.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing if you wanted to, you could go for a couple of these sets. You might, obviously you've got more than enough to do the Craftalong, but if you are inspired to have a go with those elements that we saw from the design team, then by all means do add a couple of those in. You might already have one set that you've been crafting along with and enjoyed yourself that much that you want to have another go. Well, here you go, the details are on your screen there. 950-979, of course you're going to get all those items, the 6 panels there, you've got your grey board wings, all the cogs, all the bits and pieces we've been working with, and 2 flexi binders of £20 each. $39.99 if you want to go for it all in one go though. And of course we're now at the kind of final stage of bringing it all together.
Yeah. So we're just going to glue your frame to your baseboard.
Now does it matter which way round it goes? I'm guessing it's pretty symmetrical, yeah?
Pretty symmetrical. And all I do is just go round the edge in one fell swoop.
You can get tablets for that.
Down each piece down the middle.
Could I just have a squirt on the mat, please?
Flip it over.
Thank you.
Get you going anyway.
Yeah.
And attach it to your baseboard.
It's a lovely design you come up with here with these different pieces. When you're designing and you're putting a kit together like this, is it you have a vision in your head, or do you almost start doodling and then go with the flow?
I don't doodle. I don't write anything down. I just think things in my head, and you know, I can wake up in the middle of the night and think, ooh, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and then I'll jot something down. But I tend to. I say yes, I would draw my designs out, but not in the traditional pen and paper. I use Illustrator.
I think a lot of people do now, don't they? My daughter uses that a lot.
So I'll fiddle about in that and try and get things how I want them, and then once I've got it in my head, I'll send it over to Di and say, what do you think of this?
Get that second opinion on that. It's nice teamwork that you've got between the two of you, though.
Oh no, it works well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's easy for me because it comes over all in digital format, so it's.
There you
And-
go.
and I
You've
never-
trained her well.
And everything she sends over is wonderful.
There you go. Well, I can speak from personal experience and say definitely. And it's surprising how quick that
It
glue
goes-
brings
yeah,
it all together.
It does, yeah.
Substantial piece of art as well that we're working on here.
So then your next step is to position your wings.
They sit there neatly as
They
well.
sit there neatly. And then you've got these pieces here
Oh,
that come in your kit.
where's mine? Throwing them over the other side of the table. There's a lot of noise going on. Sorry, that's probably picking that up on our microphones.
Right. So not to make a picket fence with.
Okay.
These are little pieces so that we can pop under here just to raise
Oh, it's like a little bridge.
little razors.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so we just glue these on here. You can, that one.
Kind of just position them so you can't see them. Okay,
yes.
yeah, so an angle's okay with them,
Yeah, an angle's fine.
Got loads of these as well.
Yeah.
Do you reckon the page? Full.
How many are you
I think I
putting on
might
each?
trim.
I just put one across the top there, so that top bit sits on.
And top,
And
middle
you'd-
and bottom.
The bottom doesn't need it.
Okay.
It's just the top,
In the middle.
about there.
I've trimmed mine down a little bit. Can you see there, Margaret? Shall I move that out the way?
I just tend to glue on these bits here, guys.
Okay there, Margaret.
Can't even see. I just do, yeah.
Actually, that's another way of doing it, I suppose, is putting it onto the back and then
You can
know
do.
that it's going to fit the,
Yeah.
it's going to hit one of those points on that
Yeah, I think I might do
frame.
it that way.
Good idea, Margaret. I'm copying you now. I don't mind who I copy everybody.
As long as it gets the job done.
That's very true, Margaret. The time is ticking away. The time has flown so quickly. We've only got about 9 minutes left within this craft along. I don't want to do it all again. We've had a lovely time. And of course, don't forget, check out on social media. You'll be able to see from the Facebook pages. Of course, we've got Fiona, who is teaching us during this craft along. She's got her own blog and all sorts of different things that you can follow her. Obviously, social media. You'll be able to find out about classes and workshops that she's doing, and maybe take part in one of those. And of course, Di, regularly we see here at Achanda. And when are you due back again?
Week Tuesday.
Week Tuesday, that was it. I couldn't remember the exact date. And yes, thankfully, I think that's our shift. I think I'm in on that day. What time? What time are you in?
I think it's 12 and 4.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I feel a bit of a play around with the schedule to make sure I bagsy that, sure. I think that's okay.
What's the date then?
Hmm?
What's the date then?
Tuesday the 28th.
Yeah.
If not, I'll get it later.
Lovely. Okay, and these pieces going in. So those wings go down like so.
Yeah.
And just hold those in place.
Yeah.
Don't want them flying off anywhere. And you're working on your heart now, Fiona.
Yeah. So your bottom piece, we just stick straight to the base, like that.
Okay,
You're just
lovely.
sticking straight to the base.
I think my wings are still a bit wet, but never mind.
That's okay. Then your top piece, we're just putting a bit of grey board on each side,
Lovely.
and then we can pop that on the top.
So that's
so that
giving that step down.
it just gives it that step.
Oops. How are we doing? How are you getting on over there, Margaret?
Yeah, you'd be all right there.
Oh, right wing going in place, lovely. That was a bit political, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I could mention the left wing as well. Yeah, the left wing's in place, we're all right.
I can't see.
So we're unbiased.
You're stuck.
I don't know, but
Mine
that's
certainly are.
no. I think it's because my wings are still a bit wet, but they'll be fine when they.
Mine are a bit bent, I think.
I think it'll be right when they dry out a bit.
Well, this is it. And when
What we do with the heart.
when you're at home, I'm guessing it because you'll have that little bit longer for these
Yeah.
elements to dry.
Oh, you're putting fingers on them.
For
I
the
love
top
this little-
half,
These little spacers.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So that one just goes flat.
yeah. So the bottom half just glues straight onto you.
Yeah.
So that's it. You got it, Margaret.
That's
That's it. Okay. So anybody that's watching at home, oh, actually, I'm going to trim that little piece down as I'm chatting
Yeah.
to you. So, of course, we've seen there the two hearts are kind of coming together. The base heart that we did in that one colour, just that one coat, that is your base. And then on top of that, your piece that you used, your turquoise or maybe your red, and, of course, that Payne's grey and that little bit of silver, that's sitting on the top, just like I've got so far with mine. So that kind of idea. And then with those little spacers, they go on the back of your other piece of your heart, and that's going to sit neatly on top. The spacers can give it that little step up, which I like that idea because that's where you can kind of, I suppose, pop little pieces if you're wanting to
You
go
can.
underneath. Okay. Oh, that's a nice dye.
I think we're
And then we
getting
pop
Yeah.
2 little pieces on the back
Oh.
of the heart, and then we'll glue those onto the frame.
There's loads of these pieces, plenty.
And if you've got any left, you can make a picket fence.
You can make
Well,
a picket
yeah.
fence, eh? That's a good idea.
You have any help one? You can just do. No?
Oops, pop that there.
And another bit on the back there.
Now, whereabouts does this sit on our piece? I've been rather generous with those. I've used 2 whole ones. And
Oh yeah.
Where have you got 2 old ones? I've only got one left.
Perhaps I've been using yours, Mark.
You're sharing those picket fences. Time is ticking away. We're down to our last 4 minutes of the hour. The time really has flown by, and I don't know about you guys at home. I've been having a whale of a time. I'm just adding some more of those to lift up that the bottom of my heart. But have a look at the finished piece. This is where the inspiration came from, and it's a piece that Fiona has put together. She's designed for us. The kit has been put together around this design. So the kit is including all of those substrates, so things like your baseboard. You're also going to get your stencil there to add that fabulous paste through. Of course, then you're going to get those wings, 2 pairs of those wings, lots of the cogs that you can see featuring, and they're all included within that set as well. We're just coming to the final stages now. We've been crafting for nearly 2 hours with this, having lots of lovely chat in between as well. And of course, when you are at home, you can craft at your leisure, because after we've done the Craftalong, it will be loaded up to obviously watch on rewind, but also you'll be able to watch it via our YouTube channel as well, which is always very useful to go back and watch on, because we've got all sorts of wonderful things on there as well. Popping that in there, a little bit of adhesive on that one. I think I'm there now. How we doing? Oh, Margaret's at the stage of putting the cogs in place. Hey.
Don't think my wings are sticking, so I'll have to put
No,
a book on them when I get home.
they might need to just dry out a bit more.
Yeah.
I like you.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
Yeah. Just popping mine in the centre there.
Yeah.
And then the little cogs go in place.
Yeah.
Purple cogs and the big one.
Right.
You can leave mine like that. It's when I get home.
Oh. Overzealous with the glue.
And then the final step, once you've got everything glued in place, is just to pop a little sentiment on, which can be any sentiment stickers that you've got, any stamped sentiment with any favourite sentiment stamps that you have in your stash, or you can generate your own by using a typewriter and or computer printed.
It's a good idea, actually,
You
if
know.
you've got one of those word processing
Yeah.
programs. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a selection here of stickers, computer generated, that you can use, cut
Loads
up,
there, isn't
and
it?
that's your finishing touch.
Now I'm going to add my sentiment a little bit later on. I'm going to be the first one to hold mine. I think hopefully it's all stuck in place. But there you go. You can see with mine. I might add a few more little cogs because we've got a little
You could-
recess around this. I
Yeah,
like the idea
yeah.
of tucking half
Tucking
a
them
cog
in,
in there.
yeah.
So yeah. So that's my piece. Probably going to be a bit of a work in progress. I'm going to add my sentiment a little bit later on. Margaret, how have you got on with yours? I know you've not
can't
stuck all
hold
your
it up.
pieces down just as yet, so you can kind of see there a little bit. There. Look at that, very effective. I like the crackle that you've got there as well. That's nice, I like that one. And of course, Di, you mixed up the colours a little bit with yours.
did.
And you went down that kind of
If I hold it up
bronzy route.
too high, it might all just
There
fly
you
off
go,
the
let's do
bottom.
that. Look at that. I love that there. Very warm tones. Just shows you how these can be so different. And then, of course, Fiona's been teaching us throughout the hour, and she's got her sentiment in there. And I love the sentiment that you've added. Really pretty idea there. So as you can see there, we've got limited edition, and that's exactly what it is. It's a limited edition created by Fiona, but you'll have your own limited editions. Ladies, I have to say thank you.
Thank you.
I've had a fabulous time, and I
Thank
wouldn't
you.
hesitate in spending another 2 hours in your good company. Margaret, have you enjoyed yourself?
Yes, thank you.
It's been good fun. It was very effective.
When can I come back?
Yeah, when can we come back? Yeah. I don't know, are we excluded from future Craftalong because
Yeah, I
we've
bet
already
we
taken
are.
part? I'll change my name and my ID if I need to. Thank you for joining us. Do keep your eyes and ears tuned because we will have more Craftalongs coming to your screens very, very soon. For the time being, thank you so much, Fiona. You've been a fabulous teacher,
No,
teaching
thank
us all
you.
those techniques. Di, thank you for your support as well. And thank you so much, Margaret, for joining us. Plenty of time for you to get involved though, because on Rewind on YouTube you can rewatch that show, and of course the kits, the details on your screen will have all of those substrates in there ready for you to create a fabulous piece of artwork. Do urge you to have a go. You'll have a great time. See you later.